What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and there is an exchange halt happening with ZEPHYR currently and an upcoming chain audit. What is going on? All right, guys, so as far as I'm aware, as for a little background information, in case everyone is wondering what the heck is kind of going on, a lot of you guys probably already know already, but ZEPHYR is obviously a fork of Monero. It's doing all the stuff Monero is doing, a privacy coin on CPUs and so on. But there was also Haven, and Haven was a stable coin built on the Monero blockchain, and it recently did have a vulnerability, which ultimately led to the closure of Haven. Now, ZEPHYR, which has the Monero side, also pulled in the Haven side to kind of put exactly what these two projects were doing, Monero plus Haven, all into one as ZEPHYR with their ZUSD and all that stuff going on there. And originally they claimed that this was not happening. It was fixed on the ZEPHYR side, so they didn't have the issue that Haven was having. And then, about a month later, it's looking like these transactions are showing up, and now we have major issues happening on the ZEPHYR network. And that leads us into what is happening right now. So I still don't know all the details here, so as I get them and show you what to do and so on, because there will be an audit. It sounds like it's going to be some type of possibly self-audit. So you're going to have to send your coins again to yourself. I don't know if we can do it now, if we have to wait a little bit. When I get more information, obviously I'll update you guys. But let's take a look at the ZEPHYR exchange deposits halted and upcoming chain audit. So we've made the decision to request all exchanges disable their ZEPHYR deposits for the time being until our audit can commence and be completed. As of time of announcement, most, if not all, exchanges have confirmed that they have disabled their deposits and or withdrawals. So you cannot send any coins to an exchange anymore. You can also no longer pull away from the exchanges. So keep that in mind. Keep it in your own walls. Don't try to do any of this stuff. It's not going to show up. This was a difficult decision, but we hope this action will serve to be more potential damage mitigating than damage inducing. I've been very close to issuing this request earlier over the last few weeks, but held off until now. Instead, we opted to enter a state of high alert. I think the sooner they should have done this months ago, possibly, if there was actually an infection and stuff going through here and they figured out their chain was compromised, because, the hacker, whoever did this, either he already sold off all his coins and so on. It sounds like this happened around June 4th, I think. So it was after the big pump to $50 and stuff. So it wasn't the cause of the dump that happened there. This all happened afterwards. But the hacker is probably watching all these announcements. He may still have a bunch of ZEPHYR. He may have sold it. We don't know. But, as soon as you realize something's up, it should just be, bam, we got to fix this now. Get the alert out, not wait. I don't know how long it's been now, months, I guess, until things are happening. Anyway, continuing on here, as internal and external investigations are continuing, as well as development for our audit process, we simply can't definitively rule out any possibilities of the result of the 3 suspect transactions from 6 months ago, until a final resolution and result is determined by the audit process. If you're unfamiliar with these 3 suspect transactions from 6 months ago, let's first kind of take a quick look at that. So coming into X here, we do have a post from Luke Parker here that says, an anonymous developer, Tay, has found the output commitments hiding the amounts for the invalid BPs invalid present on the ZEPHYR blockchain. For each of these 3 transactions here, the difference is 16 million ZEPHYR. The official supply is only 6.4 million. So that's kind of the issue that's going on. Major inflation on the coin. All right, so as it stands, especially by the effect of exchanges disabling their deposits, we can know that it is not possible that millions of excess ZEPHYR has been sold off on exchanges and thus in the hands of legitimate users. Our DGED mechanics would have been drastically affected, as these legitimate users would have minted ZSD, ZRS, and ZYS, leading to unexpected amounts of ZEPHYR in the reserve. As it stands, only 30% of ZEPHYR is in the reserve, which is very much in line with what we would expect, especially considering now that 35% of the ZEPHYR block reward goes directly into the reserve. Now, this is a thing with me also, like, you know, a lot of people don't really care about the reserve, the ZSD, and all this other stuff they're doing. I only mine ZEPH. I only care about ZEPH, the main coin. The rest of it, you know, the stable coin, all this, I could care less for it. Personally, this is my opinion on it. I don't care about that. So why would this guy? He probably doesn't care about it either, so he wouldn't have put it in there. He probably just dumped it all, and who knows. But again, we have no idea. We have to wait for this audit to go through and see if there's, you know, this excess amount of coins that's around on the network in the current circulating supply. In addition, we know from exchanges that their wallet balances are expected and reasonable, all totaling to well under reportedly supply of 6.4 million, as well as their books, trading activity, etc. It is for those reasons that we have been and are confident we can maintain and restore the integrity of our chain. So, you know, we still don't know, but the thing is, we don't know how much ZEPH is in all the users' wallets outside of the exchanges. So everything's looking where it should be right now, but this is where this audit is coming in, and it's actually auditing people's wallets. Now, a lot of people are going to step back and go, what is happening? How is this going to work? And, you know, what's going down here, because it's supposed to be a privacy chain. How are you tracking everything all of a sudden? And that's what we gotta wait and see what goes on here. Best case scenario, whatever was attempted was not successful. Remember, this is best case. It's not saying this is what happened, because people are noticing somehow that these transactions did happen. So we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. And no unauthorized ZEPH was minted and thus sold off in exchanges. We're going to have to wait and see. But here is worst case scenario. Now, this is really deja vu coming in from what Haven did, which ultimately shut down their chain. Now, it doesn't sound like ZEPH is going to shut down. We may turn into an inflationary coin here, so we'll see what happens. But so worst case scenario, the transactions did result in unauthorized ZEPH minting, and a necessarily limited amount of ZEPH has been slowly sold off over the last 6 months. I'm guessing that's probably most likely what possibly could have happened. That has flown under the radar, now in legitimate users' hands. With the exchanges disabling deposits, this flow has been stopped, but there will be an inflationary effect post-audit. Any large amounts audited will need to be investigated, and if we believe that any amounts were a direct result of the 3 transactions, we will effectively blacklist them. Any damage caused is now done. So that's kind of a mixed reaction. So what if they find out it was sold off and a whole bunch of users actually have those coins? Are they going to blacklist all those users? People are going to be scared to buy this coin at this point, although everything is halted until the audit, until they give the okay and everything be safe. But there's a lot of pointing fingers all over the place and a lot of unknowns that's going on right now. So let's look at the actual audit. So for the audit here, we have been working as fast as we can behind the scenes to prepare for our next steps. Our auditing code HF updates, so hard fork. There's a hard fork coming for ZEPH, which is above all this stuff here. End process will be announced. We are going to make this as painless as possible for everyone, and will simply involve sending a special type of transfer to yourself. So I'm assuming you just go to your wallet and then you just send your coins to yourself. That way they can kind of see what's going on. But again, guys, this is supposed to be a privacy coin. So I don't know if they're unlocking privacy so that you can see everything and then turn it back on, or if this was never private in the first place. I have no idea. But again, I guess, you know, the privacy part is not saying you can still see the transactions, I guess, that go through, so they can count all the coins, I guess, is what's going on here. But I guess maybe your addresses and stuff are still safe, so they can't really see that stuff. I'm not really sure. I never really followed the chain on Monero to see exactly what it does, but, you know, I do see lots of jokes running around where it says anonymous sent to anonymous. So I think your addresses are actually hidden, but it, you know, they're just trying to figure out what the supply and stuff is right now. And then if it is looking bad and there's a lot more coins out there, it's just going to cause an inflationary thing, which means we're probably not going to see a massive, huge spike in the ZEPH price this bull run, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. Moving forward here, though, so you're pretty much going to be sending yourself some coins by the sounds of these things. Again, once this is 100% confirmed and we're supposed to do it, I will update you guys on it. But as of this is far from ideal and very unfortunate. We apologize for the drastic measures we are taking, but we ensure you that these measures must be undertaken. Thanks, everyone. So that's the current stuff that's happening on ZEPHYR right now. We are going to pretty much have to self-audit ourselves. Exchanges are halted, so they're going through the audit and checking everything out through their transactions and selling and buying and stuff that's going on there. And now it's just up to all the users. Now, what happens if a user says, "Oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not doing that. It's not happening." So there's a lot of still unknowns out there. So I don't know if they can track wallets. Obviously, they can't track users if it's the privacy base, but they can track wallets and stuff like that to kind of get an idea. But they don't know who they are and things. And, I really don't know. But we'll just have to wait for more information to emerge. But it does sound like we're going to have to send ourselves our coins again. That way we can do an audit of the chain to see where all the coins are. And possibly, I don't know, some people may end up in a rough spot. Other people may be okay. I don't really have an idea, guys. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section on this one. And there's one more thing that is turning into a gamble. So before we do wrap this one up, there is a potential for a major gamble here. As miners know, like the same thing is happening kind of on Selvium, not with the audit and stuff, but exchanges are halted because they're having an issue with the chain and stuff. But people are wondering, now miners, because you cannot sell your coin, exchanges aren't open, they start leaving coins. Saying, "See you later. I'm not buying this. I can't sell it. Can't send to an exchange." And that means network hash rate is going to fall. That means yields are going to pick up pretty good. Sure, some price. We do see that dip happening on ZEPHYR ever since that announcement. But the point is, there's a good chance to get a lot higher yields now. So are you going to take it and gamble that when exchanges open up again, you could make quite a bit of money? Or are you just going to ditch the project, never come back, and things like that? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.